Hi everyone, it's Kristen. So today we're going to be talking about Dazzler, the third issue. And I always feel like with Dazzler, I can, you know, like dress up a little bit or whatever because it's more fun. I don't know. I will miss, I'm not gonna lie, I will miss Dazzler when it ends. I mean, we only have one issue after this, so it kind of sucks. But it's been overall, it's been a fun miniseries. I've enjoyed it. I mean, I'll be, like I said, sad when it ends. I might just go back to, because I've already done, of course, Dazzler 1 and 2 and basically Dazzler 17. Um, I don't know. I might start just revisiting the Dazzler series for fun, just because, you know, those issues are just basically pure fun. Um, anyway, so of course, in the last issue. I almost said in the last episode. um, we see Dazzler basically going crazy on live TV because a telepath has controlled her mind and, she's out of control. Which, okay, now that I think about it, well, I guess she wasn't an X-Men around the time that Xavier, was there. They weren't there at the same time. So she wouldn't have the same telepathic like blocks in place or defenses as the other X-Men do. So I never mind. I was gonna say, you think she'd be able to fend off a telepathic, attack or takeover, but I retract that. Like I answered my own question. So, fans are like, oh, Dazzler, I can't believe you did this to me. And now, like, I can no longer support Dazzler. I mean, look at, like, how she is. I mean, so terrible. And so Dazzler has gone live. They're in this penthouse. I don't know whose penthouse. Maybe it's Dazzler's penthouse. And she's, saying, trying to apologize. Well, she is apologizing, trying to explain the situation. That it wasn't really her. It was a telepath who took over her and caused her to lose control. And she said, for all the people that, have basically disavowed me, said they're not my fans anymore, I understand, but I hope that I can, gain back your trust. I hope you'll forgive me. And for the fans that are still there, just know we are working, we, like her team, is working as hard as we can to make sure that everyone, humans and mutants, are safe. So they hear someone coming, so Lila's like, okay, let's go back to the tour bus. And they're calling this ship the tour bus. And it basically allows them to teleport to any location, like any of her tour locations. And it was made with help from Forge and Krakoa Tech. So, and Multiple Man's, his powers, his duplication powers. And it says in here that we can read more about the Forever ship in X-Men Unlimited Infinity Comics 56, 58, 94, and 95. So basically, Dazzler's okay, so, give it to me. What's going on? What's happening now? And when Dancer says, hey, a lot of cities have canceled your concert because they're facing backlash. People don't feel safe. So no Paris, no Milan, no Barcelona, etc. But Tokyo apparently is still a go, and other cities are just projecting low sales. That doesn't mean her, concert's canceled, but it's not looking good. So basically, yeah, Tokyo's the next stop, and Wind Dancer's like, just stay here, just rest, And Lila's like, no, I'm gonna take her to my place because, it's better for her, you know, to do that. And so they're trying to figure out, like who could be behind this, bounty for canceling for ruining Dazzler's tour. So they have all these, villains. Doctor Doom, he was in the Dazzler series. I forgot which issue, but to me, yeah, it's definitely not Doctor Doom. I feel like he's worried about a lot of other things and worrying, no offense, about like one mutant Dazzler's tour is kind of beneath him. Um, Enchantress, she could hold a grudge from because the first time that we saw her, a Dazzler beat her in a singing basically audition to get a nightclub spot and b close the portal before Enchantress could bring forth, this demon that would give her all this power. So it could be her. She holds a grudge, but I feel like, because she's offering money, I don't know if she, would do that, like offer, like understands the whole concept of human money, sort of mercenary thing. I mean, she's been around a long time, like Thor, so it's possible, I guess. And then there's like other music stars or washed up music stars or just random like Claw, or the Friends of Humanity. I mean, but do they have like the resources, the money to just give people like all this money to ruin her tour? The Mojo, makes sense. He would always hold a grudge. And then Alexander Flynn, the, I'm pretty sure we've in one of the comic books we talked about him, one of the Fantastic Four comic books. He's like the illegitimate son, supposedly, of Doctor Doom. And then this guy, um, Eric Beale, he's the movie producer from Dazzler, the movie, the graphic novel. He would definitely hold a grudge, probably. Anyway, but does he have the resources since the movie got made, but you know, well, you'll have to read that to find out what happened. So, anyway, so Domino's trying to find out because the phone from the guy who, was controlling Dazzler's mind, it fried before she could, get any information from it. I'm taking Dazzler. Sorry about that. I bumped the table. I'm taking Dazzler to my house. You guys, she can rest there, much better, and yeah, she'll be safe there. So, but what she really does is take her to Tokyo, just, to have fun. So they eat, they drink. I think boba tea. That's kind of what it looks like to me. Not positive. They go into This kind of like makes me think of New York's, Times Square. Of course, I've never been to Tokyo, so I really don't know what it's like, but it seems to be very colorful. And you can see Dazzler, her tour poster in the background. You can see an ad for Stark Enterprises. And then we see it's Arcade. And you think, oh, he's behind this. But no, he's just in on the bounty because someone's offering a lot of money to end her tour. So now they're in these like race car go-kart things. And so Arcade comes in. He has his robots come in and they take out Lila's powers first, so she can't just teleport them away from the scene. So he's bringing murder world to a Dazzler, basically. So Dazzler's trying to get rid of them while causing, minimal damage, and she doesn't want any civilians, innocent people hurt. She calls them fembots, which I'm like, fembots, like from Austin Powers? Do you guys remember that movie? Mike Myers, the robotic girls in the 90s were called fembots. I don't know. I don't know if it's a nod to, I'm assuming it's a nod to that or whatever, or female robots, just basically a generic name. I don't know. So they're having this chase through the streets of Tokyo. Lila goes in a different direction. She's like divide and conquer. And Dazzler's like, well, Lila won't last long because she doesn't even have her powers because they took out her powers, which I'm surprised. I guess the whole point of Murder World is it's supposed to be entertainment, kind of like Mojo, it's entertainment. So that's why they didn't take Dazzler's powers because otherwise, it'd be too easy to kill her. So basically, they get a shot on Lila, get her arm. Dazzler saves her, and you know gets rid of most of the fembots. And then her team comes to rescue her, and they go back and to the ship, the Forever ship. So Wind Dancer informs her, so your little stunt down there, unfortunately, Tokyo has canceled your concert. The government wants you out of Tokyo because, out of Japan because you caused so much damage, which it wasn't her fault, but of course, it is her fault because she was there. And for, kind of like blaming her for someone trying to murder her, and yet all the damage that was caused, that's because that guy was trying to murder her. It's not really her fault, but it is her fault, according to them. So, you know, Dazzler's like, so what now? My tour's just canceled. And Lila's like, I think I have an idea. So they're in Matterport and streaming a concert from a club there. Okay, I'm assuming that Matterport is still the way it is, or was. Mostly criminals hang out there, or they have their own set of rules and laws, whatever, but it's mostly criminals and people that don't really want to be found, sort of thing. So like the people there are the law, like they don't really have like international, they're not really recognized internationally, that sort of thing. So she streams a concert from there, talking about how, it sucks that now she used to be so beloved and, such a light to people, and now she's brought down into darkness, and people are, happy that she's failing. And she's like, but I'm not going to let that, get me down. I'm still going to, be myself, be, out there. And then Lila comes in and says, I'm your friend. I'll help lift you up and we'll do this together. And we'll, keep fighting to prove that we belong. So they have the whole song right here. And then and next they're going to New York City. And here's the cover. Oh yeah. Speaking of the concert, sorry, I forgot to mention this and then I forgot. You see that Dazzler has gone back to basically her original look, minus, of course, the disco ball necklace and roller skates. So, I think that's interesting. I liked the outfit that she had from, for her first concert. It was, kind of a mix of her old costume, her original costume, and like a more modern costume. So, and then on the cover, she goes back to that costume, but who knows what she'll be wearing in the issue because on the cover of the second issue, she had that, nod to London costume on, and yet she didn't wear it in there. So, yeah, next issue, we find out who's behind, um, all the attacks on her concerts and who, is paying people to destroy her. Um, I honestly don't have a guess, but like I mentioned before, we saw the boyfriend briefly. I feel like he could be tied into all this somehow. Um, because that would be like a plot twist, and otherwise it seems so random just to throw him in there for like one panel. Because in like murder mystery movies and books, they always introduce characters and there's always a purpose for introducing characters. So I don't know if that's what this is or if they just threw it in to kind of be like, "Hey, look, Dazzler has a life. She, she's trying to have a normal life, normal boyfriend, whatever." So I don't know. We'll see. Like I really don't have a guess. I really don't know where they're going with this, honestly. So I'm interested to find out, yeah, who it is, who has a grudge against her, or and why, like why they care. So anyway, I hope you join me for that, and I'm gonna do the advent calendar video here in a little bit. Like I said, but yeah, I think those. I mean, I'm glad I decided to do that, even though doing a video every single day, um, that might be a little bit challenging, and especially since I'm definitely not used to that. I'm used to maybe one or two a week. But of course, the advent calendar videos are short, so it should still work. So I hope you join me for those videos too. And like I said, hopefully I can find a copy of X-Men when it comes out on Wednesday. We will see. We'll see. Hopefully I can, yeah, find a copy and we can talk about that this week also. So until next time, bye.